Have you ever come across a piece of history that made you stop in your tracks and question everything you thought you knew about the past? The history we learn in school often leaves out the most unsettling and bizarre events. But today, we're diving into the darker side of history. Ready to uncover the truth behind some of the most chilling and overlooked moments in history? So guys, quickly join our YouTube channel. Number 10, Slug Soup. In the 14th century, Guido da Vigevano, a doctor under King Philip VI of France, made a startling discovery: an antidote for the deadly aconite poison, known for its use in the Crusades. Observing that slugs could consume the toxic aconite leaves without harm, Guido theorized they might hold the key to a cure. He boiled the slugs into a soup, and after testing it on animals, bravely or perhaps recklessly poisoned himself with aconite, then drank the concoction. Despite vomiting 3 times, Guido survived, transforming a bizarre and stomach-churning experiment into a groundbreaking, life-saving remedy. Number 9. Bomb shadows. The 1945 atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki left more than devastation. They left haunting shadows seared onto sidewalks and walls. These eerie silhouettes, mistaken for remnants of the victims, were created when the bomb's blinding flash bleached everything in its path. Objects and people caught in the explosion's direct line shielded the surfaces behind them, leaving dark imprints amidst the surrounding whiteness. These shadows serve as a grim reminder of the overwhelming power of nuclear weapons. Number 8. The morbid history of dentures. Before modern dentistry, losing teeth led to desperate measures, like the grim practice of using Waterloo teeth, named after the 1815 battle. Scavengers harvested teeth from dead soldiers, selling them to dentists who crafted dentures for the wealthy. Even more horrifying, teeth were often bought from the living, usually the poor or enslaved, who had little choice but to sell them for money. This gruesome history highlights the extreme lengths people went to preserve their appearance. Which historical era do you think hides the most dark and unsettling secrets? Comment with your answer below. I'm excited to see what you think. Number 7. Pharaoh Pepi's peculiarities. Pharaoh Pepi II. Neferkare, who ascended the Egyptian throne at just 6 years old, became infamous for his eccentricities during his unusually long reign. Known for bizarre behavior, he famously ordered his slaves to drench themselves in honey to keep flies away, reflecting his deep aversion to the insects. Over time, flies became symbols of perseverance, leading to the creation of the golden fly, possibly the earliest medal of honor in history. Pepi II also requested the capture of dwarves for his court, adding to the strange tales surrounding his reign, which may have lasted up to 94 years. Number 6. Syphilitic zombies. The horrors of syphilis in 15th and 16th century Europe were so severe that victims resembled zombies. Believed to have been brought back by Columbus's men, the disease spread rapidly, causing grotesque disfigurements as it ate away at flesh. Sufferers, often in excruciating pain, wandered the streets with decaying body parts, barely recognizable as human. The wealthy could afford early treatments, but for the poor, syphilis was a death sentence. These syphilitic zombies highlight the grim reality of the era. Number 5. The Pope's War on Cats. In the 13th century, Pope Gregory IX launched a bizarre crusade not against people, but against cats. He believed that cats, particularly black ones, were carriers of Satan's spirit. As a result, cats were hunted down and exterminated in large numbers across Europe. However, this misguided crusade had unintended consequences. The drastic reduction in the cat population led to a surge in the rat population, which played a significant role in spreading the bubonic plague. The Black Death, which killed millions, was indirectly fueled by the Pope's war on cats. This episode serves as a stark example of how superstition and fear can lead to catastrophic outcomes. Number 4. Cruentation. In medieval Europe, cruentation was a macabre method used to determine the guilt of a murder suspect. It was believed that the corpse of a murder victim would bleed in the presence of the murderer. This practice was rooted in the belief that the blood of the innocent cried out for justice. If a suspect was brought before the corpse and it began to bleed, the suspect was considered guilty. In some cases, the suspect was forced to touch the body, and any strange occurrence was taken as divine judgment. While cruentation might sound like something out of a horror story, it was a legitimate practice in medieval justice, often leading to confessions driven by fear and guilt. Number 3. Hitler and Disney. Adolf Hitler, one of history's most reviled figures, had a surprising fondness for Disney movies. He was particularly enamored with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a film he reportedly watched multiple times. In 1938, Roy Disney even sold the rights to the film to the Nazi propaganda ministry, leading to a private screening for Hitler himself. This strange juxtaposition of one of history's darkest figures enjoying a light-hearted Disney movie is unsettling. It's a reminder that even the evilest individuals can find comfort in the innocent, highlighting the complex and often contradictory nature of human behavior. Number 2. The Leningrad famine. The siege of Leningrad during World War II was one of the war's most harrowing episodes. Surrounded by Nazi forces for 872 days, the city's population plummeted from 2.5 million to under 800,000 due to starvation. Desperation drove people to extreme measures, including cannibalism. Families consumed the flesh of the dead, while others ate pets, wallpaper paste, and anything edible. The Leningrad famine starkly illustrates the horrors of war and the desperate lengths to which people can be driven by starvation. Number 1. Gibbetting. Gibbetting was one of history's most brutal punishments. Convicted criminals were locked in metal cages and suspended from tall poles, left to die of thirst or starvation, while their bodies rotted in full view. Placed along roadsides, these gibbets served as grim warnings to others. In some cases, criminals were gibbeted alive, enduring extreme suffering before death. The gruesome nature of gibbeting, combining torture with public humiliation, drew large crowds eager to witness the macabre spectacle. What's the most unsettling historical fact you've ever come across? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your answer in the comments. And there you have 10 unsettling historical facts that probably weren't in your textbooks. History isn't always about grand battles and heroic figures. Sometimes it's the darker, more bizarre stories that really stick with us. If you found these facts as fascinating as they are eerie, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.